Welcome my first Professor Knot video. Today on Professor Knot's video, we do Pokemon Gen 1. We rate all the gym leaders in the popular ROMs of Pokemon Brown, Pokemon Grape, Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow. And we determine where these trainers should be ranked. So in Pokemon Brown, you have the conflict between Region and Kelgo. Obviously, in the Pokemon Brown, you remember Region, and the Pokemon Grape, you remember Kelgo. And the rival's name would be Mira. But today we rank the top 55 trainers. And we start with the worst trainer of them all, Lois. In case you're wondering, on the routes leading up to the gym, you can encounter like a Drowsy, an Abra, a Pidgey. Stuff you can easily deal with it. Not to mention, just in the Pokemon Center East at Cartman's gym, the first gym leader, you can encounter level 20s. So, here you are almost halfway through the game, and you have to face Lois with a level 24 Weeping Bell, a level 23 Gloom, and a level 26 Ivysaur. And here are my notes. Her gym is extremely free. She prioritizes cut. And she's also one of the not a very good gym leader. She literally will go for cuts 70% of the time, and I don't know why. Cut's a 50 power move, 95 accuracy. Meanwhile, the previous gyms, they have moves like Ice Beam, or Aurora Beam, or Icy Wind, or status moves like Lovely Kiss that are more accurate. Number 54, we have Bruno. He's from the Pokemon Red and Blue version. He is known for having 2 Onyx, a Hitmonchan, a Hitmontop, and a Hitmonlee, a Hitmonchan, a Machamp, and 2 Onyx. Bruno is very free, obviously, because his AI is pretty random, and it'll go for attacks like X defense. Yes, he has X defense for whatever unknown reason. He is rated overall 1 out of 10 because he can knock out a Pokemon with, let's just say, a counter, which only affects normal and fighting type moves. Moving on. 53, we have the female Red in the Pokemon Brown Region League. This Elite Four member is a fire type user, has a rapid dash with Fire Spin, Fire Blast, a Ninetales with Confused Ray, Flamethrower, Flareon, which isn't very good in general because Flareon's slow and can take any sort of a hit. Arcanine's pretty good in Typhlosion. The problem is in the Pokemon Brown ROM, there's a type that's known as Wind. The Wind type basically completely wall Red off because Wind isn't affected by fire attacks, and although if you're using a Wind Pokemon, the only thing you need to really worry about is Typhlosion with Thunder Punch, which does hit super effective. And then you have yeah, normally you would think like that Rapidash, Ninetales, Flareon, Arcanine, and Typhlosion make a pretty good mono team. Well, you're kinda wrong because Flareon is bad. And let's be honest, Giovanni in Pokemon Brown is almost the same level as Red is, the first Elite Four member. So when you literally go like a level higher between the gym and the Elite Four member, the Elite Four member is looking pretty underleveled, and that is definitely the case. As no answers to rock types, minimal besides Typhlosion, no answers to water types. No answers whatsoever to ground types, and besides Typhlosion, no answers to wind types. And Typhlosion, if you set up on anyone not named the Ninetales, which is not that hard to do, you can kinda cheese the Typhlosion. So that's it for Red. I'll put up her notes. And then number 52 is Giovanni. This is the red and blue Giovanni. We are on this line right here. The thing is Ace Rhydon uses Horn Drill and Fissure, except that only works against Pokemon you are faster than and out level. And there's one problem. Rhydon is slow. And what is it gonna do? Fury Attack, Stomp, Leer. You have Nidoking with Poison Sting, and Nidoking and Nidoqueen. Yeah, not a very good gym. Not to mention, on your way to Giovanni, you probably picked up a Tentacool, or went to like Ice Cave east of Cinnabar and picked up a few ice types. And now Giovanni, besides Dugtrio, is pretty much swept with no possible answer. Not to mention you have the HM for Surf. Surf literally sweeps this gym. Doesn't matter if the Surf is on a Snorlax. It's still one-shots his team because Giovanni is bad. Ellie. This is the daughter of Lieutenant Surge, and this is the first edition in the Pokemon Grape, which is, I consider, the hardest out of the 5 games. She uses X-Defend, which isn't very smart. And the problem is, like Pokemon Yellow, Red, Blue, where there is a Diglett's Tunnel right next to the gym where you can get your free ground type, and a tunnel in Mount Moon where you can get a free ground type, a free Geodude. The first route in the game has, you guessed it, pretty much every ground type encounter you want. An Onix, a Geodude, a Diglett, and the grass types are basically on our way to the gym after you fight the rival. Not to mention moves like Shockwave, Light Wave, and Thunder Shock aren't that intimidating. Plus, Flaffy is not a good Pokemon. It is hardly better than Mareep in the stat department. Moving on. Surge, Red or Blue. Basically the same issues as Ellie, except he has Thunderbolt on his Raichu. The problem is, besides his Voltorb, he has no way to damage a ground type. And if you pick Bulbasaur, the same rule kind of applies. It has no real way to damage Bulbasaur.
The BK $5 your way meal is hit a status.
And let's see. Jared, another Elite Four member of the Pokemon Brown. He uses poison types, which unfortunately for him aren't that good. His Venusaur has Razor Leaf as grass moves. Again, wind types kinda wall this team. Fire types wall this team. And let's be honest, besides Crobat with Sludge Bomb, you really don't have much of a threat. And his Crobat doesn't even have Confuse Ray to troll ya. He'll just screech and then Sludge Bomb you. It can pose some problems. And let's be honest, he has an Arbok and a Beedrill. None of which are good. Yeah, his team's pretty underwhelming. He gets a 2.5 because of Crobat and the Vileplume, really. Next one is Claire. She is the Elite Four member for Pokemon Grape, so we'll go to her notes. Oops, wrong notes. These are the notes I'm looking for. Claire, level 65 Sylveon. With Moonblast, Lightning, Growl, Quick Attack. Not impressive. Especially when Gas, Poison, Steel, and Ghost hit these fairies. Super effective. Not to mention, Ghost is immune to Azumarill's Double Edge. Azumarill doesn't have a special attack stat, so Surf's gonna do nothing. Wigglytuff just has HP, otherwise its stats are terrible. Although its Double Edge can deal some damage. Mr. Mime moveset does look good, but in Gen 1, if you knock out a Pokemon with Reflect or Light Screen, the Reflect or Light Screen go down. She is a... Yeah, she is a government, and she unfortunately gets assassinated after you leave the room. You don't see her again, sadly. Rip Claire. Not very good. Erica Yellow version. There's a very good reason for this. When you are the 4th gym badge, there is a Celadon Mart with all these wonderful evolution stones, and you don't use any of them to evolve your Weeping Bell or Gloom. Yes, the Tangela has Vine Whip. Not that it matters because it's a Tangela. I mean, it's not gonna do anything. There are Fearow literally to the route west of that you can pick up if you have problems with this gym somehow. There are poison types in the pond. Poison type Grimer. And I'm sure if you still have one of your Viridian Forest bugs, that will probably hit for quad effective damage. So Erica doesn't really use much skill. Plus Weeping Bell has half the attack of Victory Bell. So its Wrap or Razor Leaf will not do much damage to you. Even if it crits 100% of the time. Bruno Yellow. This is my Bruno tier. Any trainer worse than Bruno or on the level of Bruno gets placed here. And Bruno in the yellow version is a little bit better than his red version counterpart because he has, you guessed it, a Machamp with submission that he clicks on relatively often. As Hitmonlee has high jump kick. His Onix actually have Rock Slide, Dig, and Earthquake. Yes, his Onix have moves now. And Hitmonchan has Mega Punch. And Hitmonlee, unlike his red and blue version, has Mega Kick. A 120 base power move. So Bruno Yellow is not too bad, but it is still Bruno, so he gets placed in the lowest tier. The Raplas is our next trainer we're talking about in our below average tier. The Raplas, east of Cerulean City. She has 2 Bellsprouts and 2 Oddish. Their hobbies are clicking Stun Spore, using Rap, and using Absorb and being annoying. Yes, this is one of a few trainers I actually placed on the tier list. Because being Stun Spored means Rap can essentially Rap Lock you and take out your Pokemon. So keep an eye on Raplas. Right when you cut the tree east of Cerulean, you will encounter the Raplas with 4 Pokemon. Make sure you carry your Paralyzed Heals. Sabrina. And you're probably wondering which version. Yellow version, actually. And there is a very good reason for this. There is a TM for Swift east of her gym, which basically negates anything Abra will do. You can pick up a Scyther, Swords Dance, and Swift to victory in the Safari Zone at the 5th gym. You could pick up a Pinsir, you could pick up a lot of stuff. You could even have your Beedrill from Viridian Forest just click Twin Needle and watch her team completely evaporate without her making a single move or attempt to stop you. Her Abra doesn't have attacking moves, so that's free setup. Her Kadabra isn't very good either. Her Alakazam does have Psychic, but at the end of the day, when Alakazam is the only Pokemon she really has that does anything, and the real risk of setup that you could safely do on Abra or Kadabra means Alakazam might be outsped because of the Badge Boost glitch and taken care of relatively easily. 43 is Surge from Yellow version. If we move up the notes, we will find Surge. I can't rank him too high because he has one Pokemon and it's a level 28 Raichu. The reason why he's in the below average tier list despite only having one Pokemon is because his Raichu isn't necessarily ground walled. Yes, you can get Dig, and yes, you can one-shot this annoying rodent, but it can Mega Kick you. It can Mega Punch you. It can growl. And it can Thunderbolt you. That being said, Surge will use X speed once in a while and gift you a free turn for whatever unknown reason he has to do that. Not much you can do to fix Surge, who is the father of Ellie in the Pokemon grave. Lieutenant Surge, more like gift shop manager Surge. And our next tier list, we have Agatha from Pokemon Brown. Another gem of an Elite Four member. I have no idea why the first three trainers are Elite Four members in Pokemon Brown, because they all are terrible. Let's talk about the Gengar, which has Shadow Ball. Except Shadow Ball is physical, and Gengar doesn't have physical attack. So its only special move is really Dream Eater, and it has Curse, which burns you in Pokemon. In the Pokemon Brown game. Burns the opponent. Why would that matter? What are you gonna do? Shadow Ball him after? What if it's a special Pokemon and it just hits you? Not to mention she has her ever so trusty Arbok. It's an Arbok. It gets one shot if something with Pulse was brought to the Elite Four in the first place. Miss Magius also doesn't have an attack stat. Good stab in Shadow Ball, except none of her Pokemon can really use that. And Crobat has Wing Attack, a base 35 flying move that literally doesn't do much. So terrible, terrible decision. Don't know why these people are here. Ah, Cartman. Finally, we get to the first trainer. And Cartman, even though he has a competent team, there's one little slight problem with the good old Cartman. The wild Pokemon in the area are higher level than the damn gym. He has a Vaporeon, which is level 12. And a Poliwag at level 10. Vaporeon is a decent defensive monster, except there's a Hitmonlee by the Pokemon Center that's level 20 that has double kick. And you think a level 12 Vaporeon is going to stand a chance? No, sir, it is not. And with moves like Water Gun and Aurora Beam, that's not enough firepower to overcome an 8 level disadvantage. The trainer is probably around level 20 at this point, because there's 2 routes on the way to the gym with trainers that are ironically around the same level as this gym leader. So yeah, Cartman, pretty underwhelming if you ask me. And yeah, Sparky. Sparky is the 4th gym leader in Pokemon Brown Region League. And his problem is he has no real way to hit a grass or ground type. Ground types are usually found in the first cave. Grass types are found pretty early too. Jolteon does have Pin Missile, which does help versus those annoying grass types, but Jolteon doesn't have an attack stat. The thing is, if you do not bring a grass or ground type, this gym difficulty actually goes up quite a bit. you could double that 4 out of 10 to like literally an 8. Because he has moves like Thunderbolt, Spark, Light Wave. That hit pretty hard because he has special attackers with Raichu, Electabuzz, and Jolteon. And his Electabuzz also has Thunder Punch, so... If you bring a grass or ground type, this gym is extremely free. Any grass or ground type, including a Geodude. Or even an Ivysaur. What? Lance red or blue. Now you're wondering, why did I rank Lance so low? Very simple. His AI is terrible. If you bring a poison or fighting type, this Elite Four member is extremely free because his Dragonite, Dragonairs will never attack you. His Aerodactyl, besides Hyper Beam, has Takedown, Supersonic, and... yeah. Red Lance is pretty bad. Besides Gyarados, he's bad. Plus, there's plenty of ice types in the cave east of Cinnabar. Don't have to go over that 30 times. Bonita. Now we are getting to the Pokemon Grape opening Elite Four member. There's one little problem with this bona fide type Elite Four member. She loves using Horn Drill, even when it doesn't work. And she's in her dialogue, she said she used to fight in the Kurdish War. Her Omnistar does have Surf, but everything on her team has Horn Drill. And everything on the team will attempt to use Horn Drill. Except Donphan, Mammoslime, Rhyperior, and Omnistar are pretty slow. So that Horn Drill will probably be missing plenty of times. On her positives is... the reason why it is 4.5 out of 10 is because of Tauros, ironically. Because I have seen it use agility and then Horn Drill. And if a Pokemon's faster than you, Horn Drill can hit. Can connect. So Tauros with that agility, Horn Drill combo is actually pretty devastating. Also, Earthquake's a pretty good move. Mammoslime has Blizzard, Surf, Rock Slide. So she does have coverage for flying types. Faster Pokemon and, say, the fire type. She has plenty of coverage. Or even if you foolishly bring in another bone type, she can deal with that pretty well, actually. And not to mention, Stomp is a stab bone type move in Pokemon Grape. It's Stomp's bone, Fury attacks bone, so she literally is bad to the bone. Not bad. Not bad for a first Elite Four member to be this far up my tier list. Granted, she's ranked 38. You don't expect your first Elite Four member to be that good. And now we got Cheryl as our next. And where is she on this tier list? Ah! Let's see. I think she's a gym. Yeah, she's the 7th gym leader. Basically, you're meant to fight her 6, but ironically, Joe's gym is basically on the way there. And people didn't expect you to find Joe's gym, which is hid in the middle of nowhere. But people always seem to find Joe's gym before they find Cheryl's gym. She is kind of back at home base. Like at the town where you initially get out of Mom's house and by the professor. Yeah. Yeah, she's like just north of that. Cheryl's gym. The problem is she's underleveled. And her Pokemon have some pretty interesting moves. Like Harden on Starmie. Don't know why. Gym leaders cannot get the badge boost glitch, so that's not going to help the Starmie having Harden. Executor with Barrage. Keep in mind this is the 7th gym, folks. Not the 3rd gym or the 4th gym. A Slowbro. Her Slowbro's pretty good. It does have amnesia. That is a decent option. But it is slow. And Alakazam with Body Slam. What an incredible idea to put on Alakazam. No T-Bolt. Instead of playing Thunderbolt, Mimic. Something that can give Alakazam the necessary coverage it needs. We give it Body Slam. A physical move when Alakazam has less attack than a Bellsprout. Derp de derp. And if you bring a Psychic, a Ghost, or Dark type, and there are plenty of Ghosts in the tower. In the tower right after you get the Sylph Scope. There are plenty of Ghosts. You can easily dispatch this gym. Yeah, the problem, not to mention the player at this point is probably in the 50s. This is a 7th gym, ladies and gentlemen. Pretty terrible. And since I got through the first 2 on the tier list, the video will end. And we will go through the average and the decent tier list next video. Thanks for watching.